Prayer distractions are a reality that we all have to live with in our spiritual journeys. They can be very frustrating because they hinder us from connecting with God as we would love to. As a result, we constantly struggle to realize our main goal of developing intimacy with God. And when we fail to do so, we often look elsewhere, outside of ourselves, for the causes of the distractions. We don't look at ourselves first, not at all. We look at factors outside of ourselves. And in most instances, we look at factors over which we have no control. And we say, that is what is causing me to be distracted during my prayer time. While I appreciate that there are powerful external forces of evil that could be disturbing you from deepening your relationship with God, I also think that most of the distractions we experience during prayer are of our own making. For example, let me ask you a few questions. Do you have a consistent prayer routine? What time do you pray? Where do you pray? How do you pray? Why do you pray? Do you have any prayer goals? If you are unable to answer some of these questions, then you shouldn't be wondering why you are persistently facing distractions in your prayer life. Certainly, while we can pray anywhere and at any time because God is everywhere, you will be distracted, definitely, if you try to pray when your young children are running all over the house, laughing, shouting, and screaming. To avoid such a distraction, you could set an alarm, for instance, to awaken you from sleep while your children are still asleep, so you have ample time to pray in a quiet environment. That is how you develop intimacy with God, when you communicate with God in a quiet and prayer conducive environment. Such an environment will enable you to connect deeply with God. Sometimes we get easily distracted during prayer because we are so much overwhelmed by being in the presence of God that we hardly know what to do or what to say to Him. While there's no problem with that, the point is that you can avoid some of these distractions by having a simple prayer outline, structure, or framework which you can follow, especially if you are just starting out in your prayer life. Simply jot down or briefly put down your prayer points in point form in your journal, what it is you intend to pray about. Your simple prayer outline will guide you through your prayer. You won't have to spend time wondering what to say next because you are always looking at something that is written, something to which you can always refer if need arises. Even if distractions visit you, it's much easier for you to refocus your mind on God because you have a quick reference point. Your simple prayer outline to obviously help your heart gently return to God. The truth is that distractions will always be part of our prayer life as Christians. It doesn't look like they are going away anytime soon. But we need to assess ourselves. We need to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves whether we are part of the problem or not. Let us look at our own actions and behaviors first, before blaming some external factors for our distractions. When we look at ourselves first, we are able to self-correct. That is how we are able to grow spiritually, if we are able to correct ourselves before pointing fingers at some other external factors. While we can't wholly blame ourselves or judge ourselves harshly for these distractions, we ought to be proactive as Christians. We ought to put in place simple but practical strategies to help us minimize the impact of distractions in our prayer lives. Or better still, we can put in place measures that will enable us to avoid these distractions if possible. Let us not add fuel to the fire by acting in ways that encourage or intensify prayer distractions. Because distractions have no power over us. We have power over these distractions in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed and bye for now.